not move. Get down on the ground. Get on the ground right now.
Stay with us, man. Keep breathing.
Stay with us, bro. Keep breathing, bro.
I'll get everything for you in a second. Do me a favor. Just get the car that's warm.
On January 12, 2018, at around 7:30 p.m., a woman called 911 to report suspicious activity in the parking lot of the Nation's Restaurant at 3789 Railroad Avenue between E. Leland Drive and El Dorado Drive in Pittsburg, California. She said,
"We saw a blue Chevy Impala, unknown plate, passing something to another car. She occurred 5 ago."
The caller reported that the suspicious vehicle was a blue Chevy Impala with an unknown license plate, and the driver was described as an adult male dressed entirely in dark clothing. Moments later,
That was before the second vehicle was a dark-colored Toyota Camry, Chevy Impala.
the caller said a dark-colored Toyota Camry also appeared. Both vehicles moved toward the back of the lot, turned on their headlights, and played loud music, making the situation even more suspicious. Based on this information, officers were dispatched to the scene on suspicion of a possible drug transaction, potentially involving an armed suspect. Just a few minutes later, officers arrived at the location and quickly identified the Impala mentioned in the citizen's report. You will witness the incident through 2 body cam angles from the officers directly involved in the case, and this is the first angle. It was extremely dark, forcing the officers to use their flashlights to look inside the vehicle, checking how many people were inside and whether any weapons were visible. The moment the flashlight illuminated the driver's area, both officers immediately drew their guns, approached the vehicle while keeping a safe distance, and shouted commands for the driver to raise his hands and keep them visible. One officer stepped to the driver's door, opened it, and continued ordering the man to keep his hands on the steering wheel, not bend down, and not move his hands unpredictably. They likely saw something resembling a firearm in the center console.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
At first, the man, identified as 45-year-old Terry Amons Jr., followed instructions and placed both hands on the wheel, appearing compliant. But only seconds later, the officer saw his hands drop away from the wheel. In that moment, the officer at the driver's side believed the suspect was attempting to reach for a weapon, then fired multiple rounds toward the rear driver's side area of the vehicle.
Get up!
Hey, bro.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
After the gunfire, the suspect stepped out of the vehicle as ordered and lay on the ground, while the officers maintained a defensive stance and checked the surroundings for any additional suspects. They weren't sure if there was only one suspect. In the darkness, they couldn't clearly see if anyone else was inside the vehicle. The suspect was quickly secured and handcuffed, but at that moment, something seemed wrong.
Stay right there, bro. Do you have anything else on you?
The suspect appeared to be injured. Another officer moved toward the second vehicle to ensure no one else was hiding nearby. The 2 remaining officers tried to keep the suspect conscious until medical personnel arrived. The sound of the ambulance grew louder, while more units and supervisors arrived to secure the area and coordinate rescue operations. The suspect was confirmed to have 2 gunshot wounds to the back. Once they were certain the suspect no longer posed a threat, the officers removed the handcuffs to begin first aid. Other officers repeatedly checked on the one who fired the shots, making sure he was mentally stable after the extremely stressful encounter. The officer who fired was separated for a brief preliminary interview. He described his position, the estimated number of shots fired, the direction of the rounds, and the reason he pulled the trigger when he saw the suspect reach toward the gun.
So hang out with them. I want these. I just don't want them talking. I can't separate right now. I got it. I got it. Okay.
Under California law, police use of deadly force is governed by Penal Code Section 835A, which was significantly updated in 2019 and fully effective from January 1st, 2020. The law states that an officer may use deadly force only when necessary, meaning when the officer reasonably believes the suspect poses an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. California's update raised the standard from reasonable to necessary, requiring officers to avoid shooting if a safer alternative exists. In this case, officers reported seeing a loaded revolver in the center console. When the suspect lowered his right hand toward that exact location, after being ordered repeatedly to keep his hands visible, they interpreted the movement as an imminent deadly threat. Under Penal Code Section 835A, reaching toward a firearm is legally recognized as behavior that can justify the use of deadly force. Based on the body cam footage and the location of the weapon, the officer's decision to fire would likely be considered lawful under California's current standard, even though the encounter remains controversial in the community.
I opened the door, told him to keep his hands on the steering wheel, put his hands down multiple times, put his right hand down. As I saw him reach for the center console, I took 2 steps back. I want to say 5 rounds, somewhere around 4 to 5 rounds, approximately, from the driver's quarter panel through the rear driver's side door window.
The rear driver's side door?
So I was standing by the rear tire, driver's side rear tire.
Okay. So through the passenger door or through the window?
Through the tinted window.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, very good. Everything went into the car?
Everything went in the car.
Did they fire any shots? Go ahead and turn yours off.
Okay.
This way, the correct way, so it doesn't make sure yours on too.
Yeah, mine's on.
This was the suspect's weapon. The gun was later confirmed to be a fully loaded 6-shot revolver, and according to police, it was not legally registered under Terry Amons' name. Now let's view the incident from a different angle. This time, from the body cam of the second officer, the one who did not fire. He approached the vehicle and appeared to instruct the suspect to turn on the interior lights. Look closely. From the very first moments of contact, one of the officers saw an object resembling a gun in the center console, immediately heightening their alertness. By this time, the suspect was already injured, and the sequence of events in this camera angle progresses similarly to what we saw from the officer who opened fire. The suspect was placed into the ambulance and transported straight to the hospital. Despite aggressive medical efforts, he did not survive his injuries. Even after the shooting, controversy continued to grow throughout the Pittsburg community. Protesters gathered in the streets, demanding answers, accountability, and a transparent investigation. Some believed the officers acted out of fear in a split second. Others argued that the suspect never reached for the gun and that the shooting was unjustified. A loaded revolver was found in the center console, yet whether the suspect intended to grab it is still debated. Was that hand movement a lethal threat or a tragic misunderstanding? And if you were the officer, what decision would you have made in that split second? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.